Ever thought about using this to make this? Well, I am going to be reviewing a vegan banana bread recipe by blogger Rainbow Plant Life using canned chickpea liquid. I do make a couple of substitutions to make the recipe a bit more healthier for me, but as a current non-vegan, I think this is the best banana bread ever. As the recipe calls for, you make your own vegan buttermilk. So I used a lemon, but you can use any acid like white vinegar, apple cider vinegar. And for the plant-based milk, I used unsweetened original almond milk here. Add your acid to the milk and set it aside so it can sour. Since I like some crunch, I decided to add some walnuts, so I'm toasting them here before I do anything else. Now you're going to drain a can of chickpeas, and as you guessed it, there are no eggs in this recipe, so that's where the canned chickpea liquid comes in. Looks like egg whites, doesn't it? The recipe calls for you to blend up the canned chickpea liquid for 30 seconds or so, and then you're going to place it in a separate bowl. The recipe does specify to wipe out the bowl, and in that same bowl, you're going to add your ripe bananas and give them a good mash. Now, the recipe calls for brown sugar, but I used a brown sugar blend by Truvia. As you can see, I need to buy some more of it, but it really works well in baking. And I just used the conversion chart on the back to make sure I added the appropriate amount of this brown sugar blend in the recipe. I used olive oil because she used olive oil in her demo, but the recipe does say you can use a neutral flavor oil. I tried using canola oil, but the texture wasn't the same, so I recommend olive oil. And now you're going to add your aquafaba, but one thing that I did different from the recipe is I actually blended up the aquafaba to get it back to its frothiness, just my preference, and then I added it to the oil and sugar. Now that that's done, our vegan buttermilk is ready, so let's give that a stir and add it to our mixture here. Add vanilla extract. Add our mashed ripe bananas and give it all a good blend. Now for the dry ingredients. As the recipe calls for, make sure to spoon and level your flour. I did use unbleached all-purpose flour here. I added salt. I recommend using the ground cinnamon, which is optional, and I added baking soda. Now you could stop there, but I added some chocolate chips. These are by Lily's. They are no sugar added. I thought they were vegan, but there is some milk fat in them. But I'm not vegan, but I was trying. So add the chocolate chips and add those toasted walnuts from earlier and give it all a good mix. And after pouring the batter into a prepared baking dish, I added some more chocolate chips and walnuts on top. And after it's been in the oven, toothpick check. And there you go. Now, my slices weren't as pretty because of the chunks of walnuts and chocolate chips, but this bread was so tender and moist. No one knew there were no eggs in this. You gotta try this recipe by Rainbow Plant Life. It's a keeper. If you liked watching this recipe review / demo, give this video a thumbs up and check out the recipe in the link below. For more content like this, consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.